Hey, David, how you feeling? You feeling sicker? That sucks. All right, what do you want me to do? Some TA, or some TT, QQ. Some TA or some QQ? Oh shit. Maybe you should just chill, man. There's no need to do the charts. TA, not QQ. Right, no QQs today, just TAs. TAs today. Tic Tacs. All right, let's have a look. Let me just get my stream up so I can see the chat. No QQs today, just TA. Straight into Bitcoin. Making money. David says making money will make me better. Of course. Definitely. So basically, let me just go over my trade yesterday, because I took a short yesterday and it was basically last night. Why did I take the short? Let me quick, oh my god, let me quickly explain. Right. So it was just before the close, and then I saw that, well, what I saw was this. I was looking at the daily close and I saw that it closed within the range of the previous candle, and I didn't really expect it to just suddenly go up. Like, that wouldn't look right. I was expecting a pullback, so I thought, well, this would be a good place to short, and then I had a really easy invalidation, because it was all about, it's always about the invalidation. And so when I saw that it made this wick here, I was like, okay, that's a pretty good invalidation. I have an invalidation now. So what I actually did was I just kept on shorting, short. I shorted about 4 times, and basically I was shorting back into this triangle. Yeah, the original one. Yeah, I wasn't really looking at the triangle, to be honest with you, but I thought to myself, it doesn't make sense at the end of the day to suddenly go up like it did. It wouldn't make sense. I was like thinking about the logic of how the price moves, and also the time, and also I had this short idea in mind already. You see this yellow thing? So I already had that in mind. I already had the idea of going up and coming back down. So I had a trade plan. Once this pivot was put in, that was my invalidation, because I kind of expected that to happen, really. And so naturally it was easy to short because I had an invalidation, and I didn't go crazy. I just came in a really small amount, and then as the price kept on showing weakness, I kept on adding, and then obviously my trade idea is down here, but I set to take most of my profit at this order block here. And so let me get rid of these lines now. I'll show you. So what I was thinking to myself is I was thinking I was thinking this exposed red candle here, just underneath this wick here. So I just set my limit order just underneath this green wick into this red exposed candle, which is the first exposed order block on the down path, on the kind of the lower time frame. So that's what I was thinking. Yeah. So I was looking at these candles, couldn't really see any kind of, like, I wasn't really looking at the 15-minute. I was looking at the 1 hour and the 4 hour, really. And then when I was looking at the 1 hour, 4 hour, I could see even the 4 hour, there's no order block. It's really the 1 hour that I was looking at, this candle. We are actually forming a head and shoulders pattern right now. I am stopped out of my runner because I just set it to break even. That's fine. I'm not worried about that because I took my profit and I made my 1%. That's all I'm really trying to do right now. I'm just trying to make 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, and I'm trying to compound my account. So gradually over time, because I'm always taking 1% profit, my account size is actually growing exponentially. Yeah, it's a little bit slow at the beginning, but eventually it will grow fast. Eventually, it's not a problem. You know, we're in it for the long game. No one's trying to get rich overnight. That's fine. So looking at this triangle, I don't really like it, to be honest with you. So it is still in play. I'm not fond of this triangle, but it's still there because I don't think it's being respected that much. Let me just see if the volume has changed. I'm almost thinking the triangle has moved a little bit. So there. So the triangle's a little bit more equal. That's what I'm thinking. So we have the crux at the point of control. Oh, you expanded it, yeah. If you want to really expand it, then that's the outer limits. But I wouldn't mind, I don't mind if that is it, to be honest with you, because I like it how the crux comes on the point of control. Oh, the point of control's moved actually. Look, see? The point of control has moved up. So maybe you're right. If the point of control has moved up, that's a bit bearish. That's slightly bearish, huh? When the point of control moves up. You don't want the point of control to move up, you want it to move down. So that would be perfect, actually. Yeah, actually, the expanded triangle, the outer triangle, is now perfectly on the new point of control, which would make perfect sense. Yeah. And then what you can do, rather than do this, just get rid of that, you can just use this one. And then you look like a pro. So we're at the middle. Literally no trade to be had. Literally, there's no trade here. It could go up, it could go down. There's no way to trade here. Like absolutely no way. And this is not good for the alts, by the way, this kind of behavior for Bitcoin, because this behavior is creating uncertainty on the wider market. it would have been better for Bitcoin to go up. I mean, for the altcoins, for Bitcoin to be ranging above here than to be dead center in the middle of the range, not really knowing which direction to go. And I think the reason why is because we're in a decisive moment for Bitcoin. Yeah. What is the decisive moment that I'm talking about? Well, if this breaks down, then we've confirmed bearish market structure. And if this breaks up, we're heading into resistance. A lot of resistance above us. So it's tricky, because if it breaks down, we're bearish, and if we go up, we're bearish. So there's no real situation here where we're bullish, actually. I don't see this breaking up to go up at the moment, because we're dead center at the middle of the range, and we have volume levels above us. We have naked volume levels above us, and we have higher time frame liquidity levels above us. We have a monthly level, we have 2 daily levels above us, and then higher up we're into some other previous volume levels. We have a lot of liquidity levels above us, and so if we do break up of this triangle, we're hitting resistance, and it could just fall right back down like that. And you don't end up, you still end up with a lower high just higher up, because this is the high to beat. Like for the bulls to change or to continue bullish market structure, bullish price action requires the price to make a new high to beat this high, and then this low becomes the higher low, and we're back into bullish continuation. Yeah, that will look really bullish. The problem is that we're in the middle of this range right now, dead center as far as volume is concerned, not as far as price, but as far as volume, and maybe also as far as price, because if I take a channel, a horizontal parallel channel like that, let me do it properly, then maybe we're in the middle of price too. Let me see. I'm doing it roughly. We're just underneath the middle. Just underneath the middle of the channel. So as far as price is concerned, we're just underneath the middle point, the midpoint. As far as volume is concerned, we're at the midpoint. Yeah. And probably, if I was to look at the TPO chart, we are probably at the midpoint right now of this range. I think the problem is that we've put in a new low here. This is a lower low. So we've gone from a higher high straight to a lower low. Right? And we're in the middle of the range now. Going up, we're heading into a bunch of resistance up here. And going down, we're going down, basically. We're going down. And we're going down for a new low. So actually, I think overall, it's bearish. Overall, it's bearish. It's not bullish. I would have preferred for the price to be consolidating above the value area high, and we're not doing that. And I think if this triangle was consolidating here, I would actually be bullish. I would be bullish. I think that the location of this triangle is really important. Because we're consolidating in the middle of the range, I'm feeling a little bit more bearish. David is saying, this daily triangle looks like a copy of the PA the price action to the left, it was a triangle that expanded. So you're basically looking at this. Basically something like that. This is a lot more bullish because you're getting higher lows. And we led up into this triangle from this expansion. So it's slightly different circumstance, I think. Then David's saying, but it's with less volume, hence why the range is smaller. I think the fact that the price, the point of control has moved up is a negative sign. It's not a good indication. And actually, let me just see if there's any levels that I've missed, because I haven't updated my levels for a while. Weekly levels, no, it's just that weekly, untapped weekly up there. There's an untapped weekly down here. You see, we've got 2 weekly levels. So in terms of the horizontals, we're trapped at the moment between 2 weekly levels. So even though we are in a triangle, the reality is that we are actually between these 2 weekly levels. So we could go up and still come back down. We could still, we could still be like this. I think people need to be aware of that, like just because we're squeezing into a triangle at the midpoint of this point of control, it's easy to get bearish at the lows. But it's also easy to come back in to go back up. Yeah, it's very easy to do that. It's not difficult. Like even if we have a little breakdown, and I think the breakdown is going to happen soon, actually, probably in the next week or so. If we have a breakdown here, I think people will be looking for lower, but then it's very easy to reverse that and come back in. It's not difficult to do that. Then people will start getting bullish again, and then it's very easy to do this. It's easy. This behavior is very easy for Bitcoin, and it's always, everything is possible. So even though we're like looking at this and going, okay, well, if we're going down, we are going down, there's no real reason to think that, because the reality is we could range all the way. We could range all the way to April, to the halving. We could just be in this range. We could just be landlocked, range bound all the way to the halving. And then in the halving, you could have like a fake out to break out. That could happen, or you could just have a breakout. Even if you could just have a break, it doesn't really matter what happens after the halving, because the reality is no one expects the price to go down after the halving, and the price will slowly creep up at first, probably just simply because the miners stop selling in the halving. After the halving, the miners stop selling for a good portion of 6 months. So there's a supply and demand imbalance when it comes to Bitcoin, and it begins in the halving, because that's how the miners pay for their bills. And so what they're doing now is they're accumulating. The miners they're not selling, they're accumulating, and the miners will stop selling when it comes to the halving, just for a period of 6 months or so. I'll wait for the price to increase, and then they'll start selling into the highs of the next expansion, which will be the peak of the wave 3 on Bitcoin in this 5 wave up. So right now, I think I'm actually contemplating more of a continued range bound behavior. I'm not feeling this as bullish at the moment, just simply because if we go up, we're into resistance, and we probably end up going back down. And actually, it's probably going to be more bearish to go up than to go down, probably, just simply because you might get some crazy shorts load up if we go up, and then there won't be enough interest and it could just, there could just be a real breakdown like that. It's possible. I think this is I think going up is more bearish right now, because you're going to hit some key levels, and it's also, you're going to have a really good risk to reward ratio for shorts. So if I do a fib pull here, yeah, you're going to be going into the golden pocket. If you claim the golden pocket and then lose it back into the range, I think that's going to look really bearish, and I think then you're going to get some heavy shorts. The shorts are really going to be covering, longs covering their big positions. You know, they'll have, once longs have a really nice invalidation, once they see weakness in the price, they'll cover their big longs and they'll start shorting, and there might not be enough liquidity to hold the price up, and then you could actually be heading for a complete breakdown into the lows, you know. So actually I think going up is more bearish, but let's see, you know, who knows. You know, I don't necessarily think we're gonna go up to go up. Like, I just, it doesn't even look right, the price action. When I imagine this kind of behavior, it doesn't really look right, you know. And when you're charting, it's also about the, it's just, it has to look right. It can't just look wrong, you know, the way the price moves. It's like candles, you know, the way candles form, they have to, you can't just get certain candles after, like, you can't, like, for example, yesterday's daily candle, you can't just go up after you have this kind of candle. You can't just go up. There has to be a pullback. Yeah. So I was expecting a pullback, which is why I shorted. And actually, in my mind, this is just a range bound. It's not a reversal pattern. This is a range bound pattern. Yeah, you had exactly the same thing here, going up and then down. It wasn't a reversal. It was just range bound pattern. Yeah. It's when you're in a range, these patterns happen quite often. All right. So I don't really have a trade for Bitcoin at the moment. Let me quickly have a look at XO to see if there's any indication of order flow behavior. So the first thing I'm looking for is to see if there's any divergence, and I can't see any divergence right now. I'm seeing a lack of participation for the bulls. I'm seeing a lack of bullish activity right now. The price is falling much lower than the CVD. That's lack of participants, but it's not crazy bearish yet. There's a short loaded up here. Look, in the daily open, it's a 1.4 million open interest increase. There's another one here. So these are some big shorts have opened at the daily open, right? There's a little bit of shorting going on in the highs here. See that? And this move up earlier wasn't a healthy increase in price. It was shorts closing. So shorts closed to re-enter shorting. So there's a bit of shorting actually going on at the daily open right now. And this is a take profit, this one here, because you have a reduction in OI. I can't see any crazy liquidations right now. Yeah, I can't really see anything in the XO charts in the order flow. Let me have a look at the footprint quickly. Pretty low volume right now. Not really crazy volume either. You have very low volume. Because of these shorts that have loaded up, I am thinking that if we do get, like, that's a pretty bearish 1 hour candle, but you have a poor high. So I am actually thinking, oh, this is pretty ugly. Look at that. It's pretty miserable, huh? That's a miserable. I am actually thinking short, but I can't. You couldn't short in the middle of this range, so it's a tricky one because we're dead center in the range, and you have an invalidation there, and you're really only targeting the bottom of this triangle, so it'd be very difficult to short now because you have such a wide invalidation. And realistically, you're aiming for the bottom, but you know, you've got some levels here where the price could easily reverse. So naturally, I think what might be better is a long into these lows, since we're already short, you know, since we kind of missed the short opportunities in these highs. Yeah. Unless the price does go back up for another chance to short, and then that would be another opportunity to short, if it may be on New York Open, if the price does manage to get back up. And then I think what you have to understand now of this PA is that everything is a scalp right now. Literally everything is a scalp. So as soon as you get a chance to take your profit, you have to take it, and don't even think about it. Just take your profit and move. Technically, we're not breaking out, we're range bound and we're stuck. And so the best opportunities in shorting and longing are going to be at the extremes of the range, yeah. And so we have our range right now. This is it. This is our range right now. And point and control is dead center. Ape just I got a signal from his bot. He's just long Solana, so I'm just going to quickly have a look at that. I have a signal bot, a big whale. I get all his trades. I don't take his trades. I just like to see what he's doing. And he just long Solana, so let's have a look. God, if I can't find it, I need to reorganize my shit. Why can't I find it? I don't want spot, I want derivatives. And he shorted ID, whatever ID is. Let's have a look. I'll look at those two. So he's longed Solana, David. I have no idea why he's long Solana. We're underneath the point of control. We're into resistance. Maybe this swing failure here. Don't know. Is there a golden pocket? Yeah, he's long the golden pocket of this extension, basically. I think it'd be better to long a swing failure of this lows here than mid range, just randomly into the golden pocket, into the point of control, because you can easily get a sell off. We're making higher lower highs. I don't see why we wouldn't make another lower high, because that would land into the golden pocket, into the point of control. I don't like it. We'll see. I'll leave that anyway. He's also shorted. Oh my god, he's shorted ID. Look at that. Jeez. I can't see any exhaustion levels. Why is he short in ID? It's coming into a swing failure. Oh my god, look at that. That's massive volume just came in. Look, all that volume. People are taking profit. See how this volume, see all this volume that's come in. That's everyone who's been accumulating in these lows is now taking profit. Okay. That's what this is. That's why you have an increase in volume, but the volume is dropping off, which is actually quite bullish. Look at this consolidation range on ID. From October. It kind of feels like like travel a little bit. Anyway, just took a short, huh? Okay, that's a good place to short. Into the value area high. Perfect. It's actually a good place to short. Look at that. Mark that off. Let me mark all of these now and just keep them. Value area now. See if they've moved. Point of control. Get rid of that now. We do a very local range pull now. See what's happening here. All right. Yeah, it's not a bad place to short, to be honest with you. The thing is, your invalidation is going to be this high here. But we're in the high of this local range. A lot of profits being taken right now. That's your trade. And really you want to take it all the way back down, basically. That's your trade. And I think what happens with this kind of price action is if we do go down, we start losing these lows and we come, basically if we close underneath this wick here, you're going to see a really fast breakdown, basically, because it's really become, it looks really bearish and you've closed underneath the last point of support before there's no volume. Like literally, I think there's probably zero volume in this push up. Let me quickly have a look. Let me just do it on this one bar here. Yeah, you see the point of control on that push up, that high volume is right there underneath this wick. And so the value area low is here. That would probably be your first take profit if we go down. I can't see any volume at all. It's hard to see, but there's no volume. The volume is in the highs, so that's pretty bearish actually. There. That's your trade. Yeah, you take profit at the gold, probably just at the golden pocket. That would be your TP. But actually, I think if you end up down there, you probably end up down there. Probably. Idea. How do I sell an ID? Is it on Bybit? No, I can't see Bybit because I'm on VPN. Let me just quickly have a look on my phone. Oh yeah, ID is on it's on Bybit. Not inverse perpetuals, normal perpetuals. For some reason, this price is higher. It didn't go as high on Bybit. It went high on Binance, but not on Bybit. On Bybit, it's much lower. No idea why. Maybe because of spot. Let me have a look at the spot on Bybit. It's really weird how spot and derivatives are slightly different. You can't see what I'm seeing because I'm just looking on my phone because I need a VPN. Not sure where you'd have your invalidation, to be honest with you. It's very difficult because you need an invalidation and then you'd have to do it based on the chart. Maybe. All right, let's see how this plays out. Anyway, let's just imagine we took a short. Let's take an imaginary short here, guys, together. This is our trade. You risk your 1% of your account. Validation above this high at 56. And let's see if we can trade it down. Paper trade. Not going to take it, but let's just imagine that this was the trade. All right, what else do we want to have a look at quickly? Let's have a look at TRVL. Yeah, TRVL is looking like it's been sold. So I had a... So, I mean, I don't know really what to say about TRVL, except that we were looking at a bearish candle on the weekly chart. We've been looking at this together, all of us. Anyone who's come onto my streams will know that I've been looking at these candles on the weekly time frame, and everyone will know that I've been contemplating a bearish scenario. And there was a conversation about my incorrect terminology for this candle. I said, I said it was a hammer, but actually yesterday I corrected myself, and it's not hammer. It's a dragonfly doji. Over here it doesn't even look like a dragonfly doji. Here it just looks like a doji. So on different exchanges you have slightly different looking candles. So a dragonfly doji, the wick is longer underneath than higher up, and it's in the heights. Anyway, I was looking at this and going, this is bearish, and we have started to see a little bit of a sell-off. I mean, what we're experiencing now in this part of the price action for TRVL is a little bit of exhaustion. Yeah, I think people have to understand that. Like, I'm not bearish at all with TRVL at all. Like, there's no ounce of bearishness in me. When I say this is bearish, it doesn't mean I'm bearish. Yeah, it just means that it's showing signs of exhaustion, basically, where the price is finding it difficult to go up and the price could correct, you know, and then you're looking for a correction. That's all it really means. I see it as a correction. I don't see it as a crash or some kind of suddenly the price is going to zero. I don't see that at all, right? And I've been calling it, and I told everyone this is what it looks like, and lo and behold, you know, you're getting the same thing on the 3-day chart. See that candle here? Again, it's the same idea. So there's a dragon. It to me, it looks like it's a hammer with a wick on top. So that's how in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, hammer inverse hammer, because that's the easiest way to perceive these reversal candles. Now, if it has a wick on top or not, it's called the Dragonfly Doji, or what's the other one? It's an Evening Star Doji or something like that. But I mean, like this one here, it's not a hammer. It's not an inverse hammer. It's like probably an Evening Star Doji or something like that. I don't know. I'd have to go and have a look. Because of the wick. The idea is that exactly the same. So that's why I just simplify it in my mind. And so we are seeing a little bit of a reversal here. Yesterday's daily candle was extremely bearish. There is no doubt about that. We had a close underneath this wick, this wick. The price easily traded through this daily level, easily. And so naturally, I mean, I drew out this this higher time frame triangle. Actually, it's a mid time frame triangle. And in my mind, I was thinking, if we wanted to go up, we really had to find support somewhere at the low of this triangle to go up. But I was still feeling bearish, simply because of the higher time frame candle, the weekly candle, which showed some kind of bearish behavior in the candle print, right? And you know, and the thing about like this short that I had imagined is that you have a really easy invalidation. You have a very simple invalidation. Yeah, the invalidation isn't much from anywhere from this short. You're only looking at about 12%. 12% in terms of TRVL is very small in terms of TRVL. So I don't think people looked at my video and started shorting. I think people were already feeling that way because we've been ranging in this range for a while. The point of control is now above us, and we are into resistance. We're into resistance. We're into resistance, and you can't be bullish when resistance is holding. You know, you can't be. You have to be. You can be bullish when you flip it into support, and we have been unable to do that. And this push up last week, this nice big bullish expansion candle was the promise of great news last week. And I think it's hard because right now I think there's a lot of anticipation, but people still want to accumulate at low prices. And no one really wants to push the price up when the price isn't ready to go up. And what I'm seeing with the price right now, it's not ready to go up. It's not ready to go up. Yeah. And I think we had that chance. I feel like we had this chance to go up in this range, and we haven't been able to do that. And I think the problem is lack of participants at the moment. And I think part of that problem, it still stems to people not really knowing about Dtravel, not really understanding about Dtravel. And so naturally, the growth that we're experiencing now, it's quite a lot, it's quite organic. It's more organic. It's more kind of people themselves doing their own research. But it's not necessarily anything extra. There's no extra input into the way people are hearing about Dtravel. And the other problem is that a lot of the hosts that are coming on board have no idea about crypto, period. And so that in itself is an education. Like Eric introduced me to someone who's got some properties in London, and he has no idea about crypto. He has no idea about TRVL. He doesn't even know about how to buy TRVL. And I think that's what I was saying. I think in the future, we're going to come across this situation where we have a large amount of hosts, tens of thousands or more, and they have no idea about TRVL. They have no idea about crypto. They might not even care about crypto, to be honest with you. And so we have a really amazing future captive audience that we can tap into with a little bit of understanding and education down the line. And so I think there's a really great opportunity here, because the people that we convert to crypto, their first purchase is going to be TRVL, not Bitcoin. And it's going to be like losing your virginity, you know, you never forget. You're gonna, it's like the first one, the first girlfriend, you never forget, or boyfriend, whatever. And so yeah, so we have a really great opportunity to grow our network, but at the moment it's very organic. I don't think, just because I plan this trade, I don't necessarily think we're going to go all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, this is an idea of the, like, if we do fall, I think that would be the extent of the fall. But naturally speaking, I can't imagine that this is going to happen, because we still have levels to contemplate. Yeah, we have this daily level, and I think there's going to be quite a large amount of liquidity at that daily level. Yeah, I don't see why there wouldn't be. You know, we have a really, it's right at the value area low of this range, and you have a liquidity level into a daily order block. I don't necessarily think that we're just going to walk through that level. Yeah, I don't have that. I don't think that doesn't really make sense to me. It would really require ultra bearishness for us to just do this. Yeah, so in my mind, even though I've drawn it out, I am thinking to myself, I don't know how we're going to like, right now the price is slowing down. And that's the other thing. It's going to require people to market sell for the price to go down. I don't know. Just like I'm seeing a lack of buyers, I'm also seeing a lack of sellers. Yeah, I'm seeing a lack of sellers. So I don't necessarily think the price is just going to kind of crash at the moment. I don't see that. But right now we are kind of making, I don't want to see green, actually. Like, if people are buying, I'd rather you just buy lower down. And I think people don't really understand, like, why is, like, this is terrible. I don't like this. Why are people market buying here? Stop market buying. Put limit orders and let your orders fill. Stop market buying. Because by market buying, you're creating bearish candles, bearish order blocks. And I don't think people, like, I wish everyone would be watching my videos, because they don't quite understand how it works. But basically, on the way down, you don't want to be creating green candles. You just want it to be all red, because that means that when you go back up, it'll be much easier to go back up if there's no green candles. So actually, on the 4-hour time frame, this whole kind of, let me just delete that now. This whole move down can easily be reversed, because there's no green candles. Yeah. And we just don't want to see green candles on the way down, because as the price comes back up, they will start, that's where the resistance is. And then you start seeing structure. I don't want to see structure on the way down. I just want to see the price fall. Basically, that's what I want to see. But I mean, I'm not in control. And I think, you know, the problem is people are market buying. And that's not how to buy. You just set your limit orders and let the orders fill. Let people market sell. That's fine. But let's not market buy. We don't need to. But yeah, so we're seeing a little bit of bearishness here. It would be, I think, I'm not going to be, like, I mean, look, this triangle could break down, but you could end up forming something else. Like, there's no reason why we're going down. I don't think that's not how it works. The price always moves in waves, and the price never does what you think. So even though I had this kind of mapped out, and even though that looks like a breakout, it just all depends on the strength of the sellers. If you don't get any sellers, it will just kind of come here, find support, and probably head back out. Now, the question will be, what happens here? You know, do people start selling again to go back down? Or do you find strength to go up? You know, like, we just don't know. Can't predict that. And so naturally, when you are like taking a trade like this, you want to take profit at the first support level. You wouldn't just expect it to go all the way down. Even though the higher time frame candles the previous week was bearish, even though we are on time when it comes to mimicking ADA's descent at the same period of time during the bull market last time round. Even though we're on time with that, I'm not going to just blindly short. I'm not shorting anyway. Sell into support. That doesn't make any sense. It's better to let the price guide us, you know. And so naturally, the first kind of indication of real bearishness in my mind is going to be losing this value area, losing this low here, like a close underneath this low on the daily time frame. It's not going to look good. Yeah, that's going to look really bearish. Right now, I'm not necessarily feeling that way, because we're still in the range. We're still range bound. We still have a significant level below us, and that's within this value area. And I can see that there's a high volume node here just underneath us. I can draw the line straight. I won't need to, because I can just use that there. There's a high volume node right there, just above the daily level. So the other thing that we can experience is that the price kind of comes down here, ranges a little bit, the point of control flips all the way back down to the bottom, and the price starts going back up again. Yeah. And so even though you have this triangle idea potentially breaking down, you just could just be a fake out. The price could just fake out. It could just be a little mini shakeout. The price could go back up. There's no reason to think that the price is just going to crash, because we are easily in support, still in support. Yeah, maybe not this exact second, but just below us, not far. We have only 4% below us. We have a liquidity level, high volume node into the value area low. Yeah, and now this range that we're in has been with us since the 12th of January. So we're almost a month in this range, almost a month. And if anyone was paying attention to the first day, to that day that we broke out and came back, it came down, the first thing I said to everyone was just trade the volume range. just trade the volume range. Yeah, and that would have been very profitable for most people, because look what's happened. The price has just gone from the value area low to the point of control, to the value area low, to the point of control, probably back down to the value area low, probably back up to the point of, you know, like, it's just at the moment that's what's happening. That's the behavior. And, you know, yeah, sure, this triangle could be, you know, we could go down, clear the liquidity at these lows here, go back up, find resistance, and it could really go down. It is possible, but the thing that you have to remember is that no one is shorting. We're talking about market sales. So you have to think to yourself, who is market selling? You know, that's the only way for the price to go down, market sells. And then all people have to do is put limit orders, and you're literally exhausting the sellers, because I don't think that there's many market sellers in this market at these prices. And I would prefer it if people just put limit orders. But at the right places. So at the moment, it's not the right place to put limit orders. You can just scale in. That's fine. But like, at least it's not too bad, because you are coming into this whole red candle. That the whole thing is an order block, potentially. Let me just get rid of these lines. Basically, for me, on the 4-hour time frame, it's this red candle here, this one. That's really where you want to put your limit orders, that one there. And I think at the moment the price is still falling. I think it'll be easy to see strength right now, because strength, you're basically getting back into this triangle. You're getting back above that wick low. Be quite easy to see strength return. So I don't think people need to FOMO in right now. If they have sold in these highs, well done. You know, that I said, you know, trade the range, it's not a problem. But you don't necessarily need to FOMO in right now if you feel like the price is going up because someone is market buying, because you just, at the very least, we need to get back above this wick, at the very least, and flip that into some kind of support. You kind of had it here, look, this wick here, kind of had it here. You kind of need to get back into it first. On a medium time frame, like on a 4-hour chart. If you see something like that, we see something like this now, this kind of behavior, these kind of candles forming here, then that would be a material change in behavior. And so that's what you're looking for. You're looking for some kind of this formation. And once you start seeing that, look, this is a market buy, the price held on this candle, and then the price came back up. There was like ample opportunity to see the change. And these are 4-hour candles. And then as soon as the price came above this wick, it just went up and up. And so naturally, that's only, from where we are now, that's only 2.5% higher from where we are now. So I think for 2.5%, people don't need to rush back in. Yeah, you don't need to buy right now, because if you start seeing this kind of behavior, you'll see it very clearly. And then if the price closes back, basically what I'm saying is, if the price closes back, obviously every exchange is slightly different, but if it closes back into this level, call it SR flip, then you can long, just like here. And so for 2.5%, you don't necessarily need to long now. You could just wait for lower. You can wait for this order block, this daily level, this value area low. There's no rush. Yeah. And that would be a much safer entry. And basically what you'd be doing is the sellers would be exhausted by then. You know, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to exhaust the sellers and then have enough liquidity lower down to absorb all of the selling for the price to find support to go back up, right? That's kind of what we want. And it's a game, isn't it? It's a little bit of a game between buying and selling. And even though we've shown some higher time frame bearish candles, it doesn't mean, there's no reason to think that this is going to zero, which is, you know, like, we could, like, this weekly candle could just be here, just stop here. We could just literally, for the next 4 days, we could just stop here. And then next week, actually, the price could go up. You know, there's no reason to think that the price is just going to fall to the floor. And I think the reason why there's no reason to think that is because the lower we go, the more interest there will, you know, the more people will be buying. Like, that's just natural. And you need to take the price down. You need market sells. I can't see, I don't know who's market selling. We haven't even impulsed yet. So I think people are just long-term accumulating. It's looking bearish, sure. But to be really bearish, I mean, I'm not going to get bearish at all. But if someone really wants to get bearish, then we have, at the very least, what you want to see is a weekly close underneath this doji low, this previous week low there. You see a weekly close underneath there. That would be really bearish, and that would be underneath basically 3.5. I'll mark that off. 3.5, where is that? Basically close here. Basically, if you get a close on the weekly time frame underneath this level here, that would be a close on the weekly time frame underneath this crop of support here, then yeah, sure, you can get bearish then. And then we're probably heading down to the next level. And again, that's how it is. If you close underneath here, then you're only going down to the next level. Like this, we're going level to level. We're not just going down in a straight line. And at each level, we have to see how much interest there is, how much liquidity there is, how many limit orders there are, how many sellers there are. That's all it is, really. It's about buying, supply and demand. And so even though, like, I mean, I don't think people sold because of my video yesterday. I mean, I think there was a little bit of there's always a little bit of uncertainty where Dtravel fails to communicate, you know, but they haven't really been failing to communicate. When I look at the Telegram, they're still interacting, they're still responding, they're still chatting. They're not like, there's no silence. And, you know, it's just people expressing their concerns. I don't think that's bearish. I think it's normal. You don't get bearish because people are having a discussion or we're debating the future about the best path for marketing or the best path for governance or something. You don't get bearish for those reasons. And I think the most important thing when it comes to FUD is just identify it and eliminate it. Don't entertain it. And so every time I sense a little bit of FUD, I call it out. This is FUD. We don't want any of it, you know. So I think this is going to be a really good opportunity to accumulate more personally. I'm actually really looking forward to the price going down to these lower levels, simply because I'm looking to accumulate a lot more. Simply, I've already said I have a large amount of capital ready. Yeah. And I would love I'm waiting actually. I'm waiting because I'm waiting for the ADA fractal to play out, just in case it plays out exactly the way it's happened in the past with ADA. Yeah, like I'm just kind of waiting for the next 2 weeks to play out before I really deploy it. But I'm just thinking to myself, how amazing would it be to, and this channel is not correct, by the way, even though I've got it there. I just wanted to see the extent of the range of this triangle. Yeah, so, and actually it's not correct because the range would be to there. It would be to there. So this would actually be to here probably. Yeah, and if the price did get down to there, you'd still be this, it would still be a higher low, because you have to make it, to take this low you have to make a lower low. So based on this triangle that I have, if this price really did go down, then we would still be within range of making a higher low. Yeah, because actually this triangle is not all the way down to this point, it's down to here. So you're taking it from up here to here. That would be the extent of the range. Maybe from the breakout, or from there, from that point actually, from here to there. Yeah, it would probably be somewhere around here, which would be kind of the I think it would be the extent. Yeah, I'll be looking for, I mean, that probably the point of control is going to be the really amazing place to accumulate more. So if I chuck these away into another group now, let's see. Do I have a, what's that one? Okay, that's fine. What's this one? Yeah, I think that would be an amazing place to buy TRVL in point of control. About 3 cents. It's really not much lower than our current price. It's about 16% lower. And actually it is very possible that we hold support here, and that price is only 5% at 5% lower. It's very possible that we hold lower at 5%. Very possible. David just messaged me, an hour ago. He said he took a short on BTC and he took profit at the order block. Well done. Let me have a look at that. Oh yeah, it really dropped. A nice trade. Looking at the, honestly, looking at TRVL right now, again, just without any kind of information, just looking at the candles, I think it's very clear that we are in a range, and this is the range. Yeah, so don't allow triangles to manipulate your bias, thinking that we've broken out of a triangle and we're going down to here, because the reality is these horizontal ranges are, these horizontal levels are like are the ones that control the structure. These like trend lines and stuff, they're not really that powerful in comparison to these horizontal levels. And so right now, as long as we're holding this, then there's no reason for us to just not continue. You know, we can just continue doing that for a while, to be honest with you. I don't really see why we should go down. There's no reason for us to go down. You do have some kind of bearish previous weekly candle, but I think as long as this week holds above this level, basically as long as this week closes within the previous week doji, as long as we close within this red doji, then the next week could just be a green candle. You know, like we could range here for a few more weeks before the price actually moves and does something. So just because we're seeing some kind of bearish reversal potential, I'm not bearish as a result, because I haven't had the confirmation I need. Yeah. And the difference between this and the ADA price action is that there was a sell-off. Let me show you, actually. I just want to show you that there are some differences, even though I'm tracking the similarities and I have the similarities in mind. I just want to show you the differences. So we have so we don't get too bearish. I don't want people to get too bearish. What the hell? It's definitely not my intention. Like all of a sudden people are bearish. What's all that about? Let me just pull this. Yeah. So look, this is ADA. And this is the daily time frame. And this is kind of the same period of time when the price started to drop. And as you can see, there's some serious differences between our price action and the ADA price action in the high of this range. Yeah, first and foremost with ADA, this was the consolidation patch. Then you had this move, and this was the expansion, which kind of was sold into. Our consolidation was much longer, much more profound in the way it was in the way it formed. And then our expansion wasn't like this kind of exhaustive rally. And then not only that, on the back of that, we've been ranging, we've been kind of consolidating. That's kind of what ADA never really consolidated after it expanded. None of this is consolidation. This is continuation of the expansion, and it's leading into exhaustion, right? So it's very different, the behavior here in ADA to our behavior in the highs. Yeah. And so the problem with this kind of price action with ADA is that the minute you lose kind of this range, that's the range. I don't know if you can see it, but basically that's the range. It didn't really range in the range, just went up and down. And so when you compare it to our kind of range, it's very different. We're into the range, and now we're ranging in the range. There's no ranging in the ADA range. It's just up, down, and the minute you lose the range, you go up and then you'd crash. And so we haven't done that yet, but I think that would be potentially, like, if we're going to see some similarity, it's going to be this, and then this. So that's the similarity that we're looking for, to see if there's a similarity in behavior. But the fact of the matter is we haven't even lost the support level yet, you know, so we haven't actually, that hasn't happened yet. And I think it was a lot easier for ADA to lose support because it didn't really create the structure needed to hold support. There was some volume gaps in this expansion here. We have no volume gaps here. You know, we've gone from basically one range connected to the next range, like they're back to back. They're on, it's like a brick. It's like we're creating a brick on top of another brick. ADA kind of didn't have that. So the minute it lost the top range, it was kind of like it lost balance and it fell. So there's slight differences, nuances at best, but still there are differences. And I don't want people to go and suddenly go, oh, we're copying ADA, we're following ADA, this is it, this is doom. Yeah. And the reality is that I think if we are copying ADA, if we are following the path of ADA, and everything that I'm saying is just subjective. Who knows? No one can predict the future. I always say that, and I continue saying that. Look, maybe we're trying to see what, if we're at this candle. I don't know. Maybe that's our candle. We'll see. But we're still in the range. So, and the other thing is that if you look at ADA, as the price came down, all of the liquidity levels were cleared. There was no like untapped. This was one, and naturally the price held there for 4 days, and basically there was one there, but the rest, there was no like untapped liquidity levels. Right now we have an untapped liquidity level just underneath us. It's the daily level, and that is corresponding to the value area low of this range. That's a strong level just underneath us. So I'm not going to get bearish if we're still holding strong support levels, you know. So I wouldn't see this as the end of the world. I would see this as another buying opportunity. And while ADA did go down and it did drop, it's very possible that we just range. We just range until we decide where we're going, and probably up by then. Probably up because we're holding support, and it's just an accumulation range for higher prices. And the reason why you're accumulating for higher is because you're holding support. Yeah, that's kind of the way I see it at the moment. So set your limit orders at good places and just keep on accumulating. And obviously if we do suddenly see some kind of crazy dip, the first sign of that potentially happening will be the loss of the point of control. You see, you had the daily close on ADA underneath the point of control, and we're nowhere near there. We're far away from there at the moment. And so maybe, I mean, let's just say for the sake of argument, we are on this candle. Then we'd still expect another, like a red candle to go down, kind of do this, and then that before it does, you know. Excuse me. That's kind of what you would expect to see if it was copying the ADA fractal. So we're literally nowhere near. And I'm not expecting us to get bearish until, while we haven't lost support. Like I can't get bearish while we haven't lost support. We haven't lost support. We're still as far as I'm concerned, we're range bound. And, you know, I can see decreasing volume. You know, I'm not seeing crazy sell volume. And that's the other thing. Like, all of the volume is green volume, not red volume. And that's also something kind of like keeping an eye on the volume. So let's not get too bearish about this price action, and let's not market buy either. Limit buy, all right? If anyone's watching. I think I'm going to end it now. Is there anyone to say anything? Any questions? Majid, hi. What do you think about the VAI chart? VAI. This isn't it. It looks different. Be back in 5 minutes, and I'm gonna figure this out for you, because this is not the right chart and I don't know which one it is. Be back in 5. We'll investigate VII. What chart? Condense. Binance and Pancake Swap. Is this the one? VAI. Because there's another one. There's all this other VAI. Pancake Swap. VAI. That's a stable coin. So it must be something else. No, it's not that. That's a stable coin. So that's not it. So it's not this, because this is the stable coin. All right. So there must be another VAI. Is this the one? VAIOT. Are you there? Which must be this one, VAIOT. KuCoin. Excuse me. KuCoin and Max. KuCoin and Max. Uniswap. Let me have a look at the Uniswap one. Wrapped Ether. No. No. Majid, if you're there, you need to tell me which token is VIO, VAI, VAI. Is this the one? Artificial intelligence. First VFAA regulated digital assets issuer combining AI and blockchain to synergize AI assistance and on-chain contracts.
Hello, Pavel and Maciej. Hope you are doing well.
Hi, Isa. I'm fine, thank you.
Hi, Isa. I am fine too. Thank you.
That's good. Pavel, first of all, I would like to thank you very much for your willingness to and your time to being here.
What is this shit? God.
Hi, my name is VAIOT. I help to conduct safe transactions across the world. What is your name?
My name's Claudia.
How can I help you, Claudia?
I want to sell a car.
Who do you want to sell the car to?
Miguel Torres.
To create an intelligent contract, I need to authorize the other party via email address and mobile number. I have found this information on your iPhone. miguel.torres@gmail.com +44 791148 Do you confirm the email address and phone number? Miguel Torres is a legitimate VAIOT user verified via KYC procedure. What is the price of the car you wish to sell?
$39,000.
Okay, I will prepare an intelligent contract for you. To do so, I need to get a few more details about the vehicle. Would you prefer to give me the details or to scan the vehicle registration certificate?
Let's scan the vehicle registration certificate.
Data confirmed. Would you like to add any more requirements to the intelligent contract?
Expensive, huh?
I will add additional tyres to the vehicle. Technical inspection is valid up to the end of the year. I will pass the keys over to Miguel tomorrow.
I understand. I will add this information to the intelligent contract. Is there any other information I should add to the contract, or would you like to continue?
Let's continue.
We're almost done. In which currency do you wish to receive payment?
Well, she said.
VAIOT.
Oh, VAIOT.
In what language should I prepare the agreement?
English and Spanish.
Okay, I will prepare two versions of the agreement, in English and in Spanish. The preview of the terms of your intelligent contract has been generated. Do you confirm the terms of the intelligent contract? Your intelligent contract has been prepared. I will send the transaction agreement and intelligent contract details to Miguel Torres for approval. The intelligent contract will be issued when Miguel Torres accepts the terms. Claudia, Miguel Torres is interested in the offer, but he would like to negotiate the price. He offers $38,500. Do you wish to accept, decline, or renegotiate this offer?
I accept Miguel's offer.
Do you wish to confirm the terms and conditions and issue the intelligent contract? You will not be able to cancel this operation. Congratulations. The intelligent contract has been issued on the blockchain. Your transaction ID is 12541. you will receive 197 VAT, the equivalent of 38,500 US dollars, for the Audi A4 limousine once the transaction is confirmed. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, thanks.
I don't know what to think of that. I think it's a bit long and frustrating for me. Maybe that's the future, but this is not the future. There must be an easier future than that. Anyway, that's what this is. I have no idea what the token is. Polygon. So it's on Matica. White paper. Oh god, it's long. Get that. Light paper. The light paper's longer. VAI tokens hold the regulatory status of virtual financial assets, the first ever regulated project in Malta. The VAI token is the digital currency of the VAIOT platform, set to incentivize users to utilize VAIOT solutions through systems like the payback program, which is fueled by VAIs and is crucial for the functionality of the underlying VAIBC technology. Payback bonus, payment method, voting power, fee reduction, staking, micro licensing, bidding medium, access to premium assistance capabilities. 400 million have been our total. Let's have a look at the schedule, the release schedule. Oh god, so small. So we're in 24 now. So by the end of this year, we should see 351 million. How many in circulation right now? Yeah. So we'll get another 50 million in circulation by the end of this year. By the end of next year, it'll be another 14 million on top. Okay. Staking. Ecosystem, team, partners, private and seed sale, release date. Okay, hold on. So release date the 10th of the 20th. It was at 279. Total circulating supply. This is good though. I like how they've got all the kind of the, you can see exactly how much has been released and everything. It's got all the data. So this is quite good. This is what you want to see. All right. It looks quite interesting, huh? That's not important. Where am I now? Okay. So what I'm seeing here is two things. Firstly, this was launched basically in February 2021. And it peaked at $3.21. Here it says 3.6. Okay, there you go. So this is good. Here it says 4, but the peak was 3.6. That was the all-time high according to CoinGecko, and then the all-time low was 0001677. Zero 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 1677. According to CoinGecko, that's the all-time low. I don't know why it's all the way down there. I can't explain that. I don't understand why. It's all the way down there. March the 9th. Where's March the 9th? March the 9th. 22. March the 9th. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, what's that? Oh, here it is. Look. Can't see it, but here, sometime in March 22, there was a crazy sell-off. It just went lower. This is on CoinGecko, so I think we have to validate this. Go to CoinMarketCap and just have a look. Just want to see if CoinMarketCap is saying the same thing. March. No. Okay. CoinMarketCap is saying something else. All-time low 0045. November 22. November. Where's November? There, here. November 22. Right. So this is correct. So actually, something that's quite interesting is the CoinGecko all-time low for some reason is incorrect. It's got a blip, and it just doesn't look right. I think the one that's correct is probably this one. Here, probably here. 4636, which is the one that's on CoinMarketCap. 46. Here it says 4549. Let me just do 4549. All right, it's about the same place. All right, so we have the all-time low now. We have the all-time high. What else do I want to show you? Had a little bit of volume in there when it went up. I think we have that data. Do we have a launch price? February 16, 21. What's that saying to me? Not this. Not this. Just refresh that. See, this data comes in later. It was on it was put on CoinMarketCap later. So actually, CoinGecko has the. It's hard to see what the launch price is. I think that's quite important. Let me see if I can find it. VAIOT launch price. There you go. Look, the price of VAIOT during the token sale was 0.12. So that's a very important figure. And actually it looks like we're above it. See that? All right. So some initial information we have now. We have the range. It was initially launched at 0.12 and it went up 29x, and then from the highs it went down 99.87%. And then from the lows, it's up now 24x, 24, back at the launch price. I have a lot of volume coming into these lows, a lot of volume. And that started basically from April onwards last year. And then we had we have like an impulsive move in November. November, we had a great impulsive move. All right. Most of the volume is at the lows at the moment. Just have a look. And we're above the value area high, which is acting as support. Moment. Point of control is much further down. Okay. Get rid of that. I think we're at a very important place because we're at the launch price. So if you accumulate this token now, it's like you're accumulating at the launch price. Doesn't mean you have a great position, simply because the price is already extended from the lows to the current price by 24x. So people who accumulated here, are 24x in profit right now, and I can't see the volume. I see the volume's dropped off, so there's not really like crazy take profits right now. People are not really, there is some take profit, but it's not like crazy take profit. Yeah, people are sitting very comfortably in their profits, people who've accumulated in these lows here, right? That's actually quite normal. That's not abnormal. That's normal behavior. I wouldn't think that's strange. I think once you're in healthy profits, you're like basically you're long and chill. I think if the price was to in the future to come down, then they'd start selling more aggressively to hold on to their profits. But at the moment, because we're holding support, the main support that we're holding is here, the value area high. I think the launch price is very important, but we've not managed to successfully flip it into support yet. See, look, resistance. We had it for a little bit. Failed auction, resistance. Front run back down to support. Into resistance, up. And now we're trying to see if we can hold it to support. Right now, we're trying to see if we're holding the launch price as support. Whatever happens, you're going to have to flip that launch price into support to go up. Until you have a confirmed SR flip of the launch price, you're not going up. Yeah, and at the moment, we're in the balance between going up or going down. That's where we are right now. There's definitely a higher range here. I'll show you. There's a little bit of an SR flip here. Somewhere here. It's a little bit of a range. So we are in a little bit of a range, and actually the range, I'll draw it out for you. It's between here. This is the range. That's one range. You have a higher range here, all the way up, all the way up. That's your higher range. And then you have a lower range here, which is your value area range, all the way down. Basically, you've got three ranges going on right now. We're in the middle range, and we're basically range bound. Hold on. Yeah, so we're in three ranges right now. There are three ranges right now, higher time frame. We're in the middle range. The launch price is going to be a really important level to flip into support. But ultimately, you know, you have to kind of work your way up. And every one of these ranges, you've got like mid ranges as well. You know, I can clearly see there's like a mid range there. Here right now, there's like a mid-range there. There's like a mid-range here. You know, all of these ranges have midpoints as well. All right. So what I can do now that I've identified the ranges, what I can do now is I can draw a volume pool in these individual ranges to see the volume. I'm going to do a higher time frame fib pool as well. Okay. So what's interesting about this fib pool is here the price came in to the golden pocket, slightly front run, but that's a confirmation of a resistance test. For me, that's a confirmation. So we know that these fibs are so right now we're at the 50%, just underneath it. The 320, the 382 is definitely holding here and here and here and a little bit here. And the 236 is definitely reacting. So you can clearly see on the higher time frame, the fib levels are showing resistance and support. Yeah, we're not at a fib level now. We're at the 50% of the range, and we're just underneath it. I think we're into strong resistance, but because we're above the launch price, we're also trying to flip the launch price into support. But the problem is that the launch price is just underneath this 50% and also this local range value area high. Yeah, so we're stuck we're stuck right now. And I think it's more likely than not, the probability is that we're probably going to go down back to the lower part of this range one more time, probably. Yeah, probably. But we, you know, we still have this point of control in the way. So, you know, you're gonna like, we have, you know, maybe we're gonna range here a little bit longer. I don't know, but I don't necessarily think we're just gonna go up. Even if we go up and are able to flip this into support, we're back into resistance. We're back into resistance, you know, we're back into resistance. So the resistance above us isn't that high. It's only 100% above us, back into major resistance. So this golden pocket is major resistance, yeah, for many reasons, but it's also corresponding with this volume area up here, and there's a lot of trap liquidity there. You can see the volume on the trap liquidity, and so I think as the price has come back up, the reason why it's been able to get back up to this level is because it's been easy to clear the liquidity. There wasn't much trap liquidity in this down extension, yeah, so that's why it's been easy to get back up to this level. And now we've put in volume at this level, and this is good because what you're seeing or experiencing here is people from the lower entries taking profit. I think what you want to see here now is a little bit more ranging. We want to see a reaccumulation now. This is what this is. This is called reaccumulation, yeah? So what you're seeing now is people who have entered in this lower range. They're taking profit in the highs of this range, and they're looking to reaccumulate at the lows of this range. And so what you're looking for is a reaccumulation period. And I don't think it's necessarily over. I think really the best entry here is just back down here in the 382, because you've got the value area low and you've got another back test of the 3. I mean, that's going to be your best entry here, to go up down here. And then it's pretty easy, because then you can just take your profit at the 50%. I think the problem with entering now is you're heading into resistance. The resistance isn't far, it's only 1x up, it's only 100% up, and to get back to the all-time high is quite a distance. It is 24x, but you've got big resistance in the way, which we haven't really tested this resistance. It's going to take some time to get through it, because you've got this volume level here with trapped liquidity. You could quite easily get back up here and reject. You know, that could easily happen, because you're going to get people take profit from the lows, and you're going to get people who are trapped who are going to exit at break even. So I think the best trades right now for this are lower. If you're looking to trade this, I think lower. That's the safest option. And I think if you could catch down here this back test of this 382 and the fib, maybe even one more time, that would be good. That would be a good kind of place to come in. And then at least if you do go up from these levels to the golden pocket, you're 3x. So you can actually take nice profit at the golden pocket, and see how this plays out. And actually, this could be forming some kind of, looking at it now, in context of what I've just drawn, you could be forming some kind of I don't know what this is going to look like, but you know, you could be forming something like this right now on a higher time frame. I don't know how this is going to look like, but I think that's kind of what I'm imagining right now. And if it does form this kind of pattern, then what you're looking for is this, that kind of pattern, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for it to come down, to go up, to come down one more time here, higher low, to come up, lower high, to come to the 50%, and then to go back up. That would be bullish. Yeah, that's kind of what you're looking for, some kind of behavior like that. I don't know when it would happen. I can't predict the timings, but at the moment, this is what looks like the most likely scenario for this token, as long as it holds this range. And so naturally, I think the best entry is going to be down here where this 382 is. And actually this could be, I don't know what this is going to look like, but it could be a lot shorter. Who knows? This is what I'm imagining. And definitely, if you go up again, you've got a nice defined trend line there. You would take profit there at that trend line. I would take profit at that trend line. Maybe even short it. That's kind of what I'm imagining right now of this. I think the next long opportunity is going to be somewhere here, the value area low. You have an invalidation because you're looking for a higher low. You've got this invalidation here. That's what you want. You want an invalidation, but what I would really prefer is a lower time frame invalidation. Wait for a lower time frame invalidation, and you have a smaller invalidation. Then I would think about trading it back up to the top of this triangle in the first instance, and that's your first trade. You have a short opportunity. Yeah. Again, you need an invalidation. Now it'll be down to 50%. Back to the point of control. Then you have another long opportunity. Point of control. And then maybe that would be the one that you're looking to break out, pushing up to this 786, maybe to the top of this value area. See how far it goes. Probably there. That's kind of what I'm imagining right now in terms of price action. This is just one idea. There might be other ideas. And what you have to do, you have to take the trade and see what happens, you know, and just risk a small amount. And that's, once you have this idea in mind, you can, if it starts to form and create this kind of behavior, you can then take the trade. But I think your first big good entry is going to be the value area low of this range into the 382. And you can trade the higher low to form this triangle and trade it right back up to the top part of the triangle. Then you can definitely take a short back to the 50%, and you're looking for a reversal of the 50% to go up, and maybe that will be the next level, the next wave, because you are looking for some kind of 5-wave move. This is very impulsive, but that was 5 waves. Very impulsive, but that was 5 waves. I'll show you. This is wave 1, but you had like 1. And you've got 5 waves there. This is wave 1. What we're forming now is like an ABC correction, or an like an A, B, C, D, E, you know, or something like that, like a much this kind of correction. The triangle. Yeah, something like that, actually. You have that correction, and then the next impulse, like that. If we if I do a trend-based fib from this low to this high to this low, I mean a 1-to-1 would take you to the all-time high. A 1-to-1 just on this move would take you to $2.6. I think that's within reach. 1-to-1 for sure. Why not? Let's take that trade to take you all the way up to the all-time high. I don't see why that can't happen. So actually, that's the trade. That's the good trade. And maybe actually the trade is the E would be the one, but I mean, you could have a long and then you can take profit and you can compound the E. You'd be taking a long here to take the profit at the D, to put the profit back in at the E. And then your trade is from the E all the way up to the all-time high. And then that would be your wave 3. And so then you're looking for probably to all-time high. And then we have to see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen afterwards. Maybe another 5. Maybe like that. No, that's wrong. I don't know what's going to happen here, but the 5 could be whatever. Don't know. If you are going to impulse further, then I think you have to go further than the all-time high. Yeah. So probably you impulse a little bit higher. You impulse higher, then you can back test the all-time high, hold it, and then probably head a bit higher. You know, this is going to be the most bullish case scenario where your wave 3 impulses above the all-time high, and then you have a 4 correction back into the all-time high, and then you have the last impulse, which is going to probably take you to some kind of higher time frame fib extension. It's going to be very bullish. The last one will only be about an 8x. The big move is going to be this one, this wave 3 to this level. It's going to be an 83x if it went up to this 1.272 trend pace fib extension. If it went to the all-time high or just to the 1-to-1, then you're only looking at about a 27x, but then your 4 would be a bit more, maybe the 4 would be a deeper correction. I don't know where it would come. And then maybe the 5 would just be back to the all-time high just to take the liquidity to come down. And obviously these timings have to sync with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's really important. So you have the halving here, and then you have the finale, the Bitcoin finale, sometime here, roughly. And naturally, we are expecting that the wave 5 would actually be somewhere here, and this will probably be here, and then this will probably be like that, be more like that. Sometime in May, April, May, you'll have the 4, the drop, and you have like the one last rally, and then it all depends on how far the 3 gets before you can work out the 4 and the 5, the projections for the 4 and the 5. And that's kind of what I'm imagining could happen. But I do like that we're having this kind of triangle consolidation here potentially. There is something going on here that looks like it could be a triangle. So just keep an eye on it and see if we get this kind of behavior. And if we don't, if the C doesn't hold, and then we go lower, then literally you're looking to accumulate lower down here. Literally you're looking for this lower range. And then if you have that lower range, you'll be looking to catch the top of this lower range. Probably a back test of the 236, to be honest with you. I don't see why we would just not come. If the price did go down there, I don't see any reason why it would just walk through this 236. I would be expecting some kind of SR flip, and then that would be more of that wouldn't be an A, B, C, D, E. It would be like a zigzag. Then you're looking at a zigzag. Yeah. So then you'd be looking at then you're not looking for an A, B, C, D, E. You'll be looking for like an A, B, C. Something like that. It depends. You have to see if this makes a higher low or a lower low. Makes a lower low, then you're probably looking for some kind of ABC correction. Makes a higher low, then you're probably looking for a longer term ABCD in a triangle, that kind of correction. And then if it goes deep, then you're looking to go down as far as there, I think, to back test this SR flip lower down, be a deeper correction. A good investment. I don't know. I can't tell you. No idea. I mean, could be. I don't know. I think 99% of coins, of altcoins in the bull market, are going to pump. I think just have a portfolio, have your ideas for taking profit on all of your portfolio tokens, and see what happens, you know. And if you have an array of tokens, maybe 10 or 20, you know, maybe 15 of them are going to do well, and maybe 5 of them are going to go flat, and it doesn't really matter because 15 of them did well. And I think if you approach it like that, you're not going to be worried if you make an investment in one of these tokens and it doesn't do well. But I think you could accumulate or you could trade. I'm showing you the trade ideas. You have to work out whether you want to wait or whether you just want to accumulate at the current price and just see what happens. It's up to you, really. You know, like, trading is quite stressful. Accumulating is less stressful, but it's always good to accumulate at the right levels, you know. So if this idea that I have plays out, I mean, it's going to make you feel good, huh? If you accumulated here, right? You're going to feel good about it, aren't you? It's always good to feel good. Majid is saying, I have strong currencies such as Link, Dot, and more. But I'm looking for currencies whose market cap is less than 100 million. Well, I haven't looked at the market cap. So what is the market cap? Yeah, 39 million. It's an AI project. It will pump. I don't see why it's not going to get back up to the all-time high. That's a 5x. What is that? They say 25 times 40 million. That's $1 billion. Yeah, in crypto, for this to get to $1 billion is possible. So, but the one thing that I have to tell you is that you're going to have a window of about 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, when it really pumps high, where you have to take your profits. You have to exit. Yeah, don't hold on to these once you get those really extreme prices. Yeah, like people get really greedy once they see kind of crazy prices. They think, okay, now it's going to go to $100. Don't have that mentality. Take most of your profit and enjoy life. Yeah, and leave a little bit, and if it goes more, and it goes more, that's fine. Don't be greedy about that, because the reality is the real pump is only going to last for a short period of time in comparison to the whole time frame of the market. You have travel, Ava? I'm thinking about that. Okay, yeah, why not? But I think we're in an reaccumulation range right now. So because we're in a reaccumulation range, I think just try and catch the lows. You know, you can be patient. I think we are into resistance. There's no reason to buy into resistance. Yeah, we are clearly into resistance, and don't get emotional about the price moving up if we're heading into resistance, because probably the price will come back down. I think try and catch the dips. If we get like a big dip, you can buy the dip. That would be nice. And then if you do buy the dip and the price goes down, you can buy the dip again. You can buy the dips for the price to go back up. I think that makes more sense than just buying now. We are at the launch price, so it is a good place to buy if you haven't got a position. You can have a look. You can start scaling and you can have a little bit of a position, but just be aware that from the current price we could go down another 54%. Just be aware of that. So because of that, just maybe create a trade investment plan for yourself. I think travel is still more bullish than this at the current prices. Yeah, because we are at resistance. This has already made a wave one, but you want to diversify. I understand. Like, I'm not like saying don't buy this token if that's what you want to do, but for TRVL to get back up to the all-time high, it's a 41x. So for the VAIOT to get to the all-time high, it's a 20x. But or 24, 26, whatever. But I think you know, it's good to it's good to diversify. Yeah, definitely. All right. No worries. Majid saying thank you, I really appreciate what we do. Well, I'm just trying to help. But I mean, like, this is just an idea. This is like, if I wanted to invest in this, I would be patient. I would wait. I'd try and catch it here. That's what I would try and do. And I wouldn't really be stressed if it went up. I think if it went up, if it didn't do this, for some reason, it went up, then I think the next period of, like, if it just went up now and my idea didn't work, right? Then really the next place to buy it would be if we got back into this range here. You see this range here, this value area? We can get back into there, then that would be the next place to buy. Like I personally would buy higher. But I mean, you're talking about significantly higher. You're talking about 200% higher. But in my mind, I'd rather buy higher and safer than buy into resistance. Like, I don't like that idea personally. I'd rather accumulate on support than buy into resistance. And if for some reason now we do go up from here and start accumulating there, that's really bullish. So I wouldn't have a problem. I wouldn't have a problem accumulating higher, because I would see this as extremely bullish. And then if it did go up from here, I would be having higher targets. My targets I would no longer be thinking all-time high to reverse, to go back down. I'd be thinking all-time high to go up. Like, I'd be thinking really bullish if it suddenly behaved this way. Yeah. So just because it goes up doesn't mean that it's bad to buy higher, because it just means it's more bullish in the way it behaves. So at the moment I'm seeing this. So let's just see if this plays out. By June or May, we can see. Well, I mean, I'm not deleting these, so we can always come back to these and have a look. All right, I'll put this up as a video, and I think that's it really. I've got some stuff to do. Quickly have a look at Bitcoin. Nothing really. TRVL. Well, TRVL is a little bit bearish right now. We're forming a bearish consolidation at these levels right now. On the BTC chart, we are into the point of control soon. So I think the point of control is always a good place to buy. So I think TRVL is going to come into a really good place to buy soon. Really soon, it's going to come into a good place. Not very far. We're almost there. It'd be a good place to buy TRVL. And the other thing about TRVL is that there is a major news item this week being released. I haven't got a clue what it is. I have no idea what it is. So it is possible that we just go down, get the liquidity and pump. It's very possible. And no one can ever predict how strong these pumps are going to be. David gave me a chart, actually. Let me see if I can find it on TRVL. I wasn't sure about it. Look. I'll do it on KuCoin. David shared this to me. What time frame is he using? He's using the weekly time frame. This is bullish, but it's going to be really painful because it means we're going. It's really bullish, but it's also really painful because it means we're just going to be in the lows all the way up to June. But let me draw it anyway. I mean, he's got it higher, but I'm just, who knows? No one can really predict the future. Let's say to there. I don't know. That's a bat, huh? Is that a bat? Which bat? Higher would be better. I don't know. So probably that, huh? That. Just 6%. Could that go lower? Maybe this is going to be in March sometime, actually. Hmm. Don't know. This would make sense. Golden pocket, golden pocket. This would definitely make sense. You know? And we are actually holding the golden pocket right now from this extension from the X to the A. We are above the golden pocket. That is really bullish. Just bear that in mind. You know, anyone who's looking at TRVL, we are holding a bullish place right now. Just because we had a little bit of a sell-off doesn't mean anything, because at the moment on the higher time frame, this is bullish. See, it goes up there to the golden pocket, back down to the golden pocket, slightly higher, slightly lower, but maybe down into the point of control to go up. Or deeper, maybe even deeper. That would get people really bearish, huh? To go up, to go down, you know. Imagine if we just went up now and then just sold off. Yeah. Anyway, we got a the way to trade this for people who don't know about harmonics is you wouldn't trade the B. Yeah, there's no B trade here. The trade is either the C or the D, right? You wait for the B to form, and then if you go up to the C and you see we're back up, we're forming the C, then that's where you could short, or in this case sell. And you have an easy invalidation because the invalidation is above the A. You're not expecting it to go up. And really the trade is the D. The D is the trade. Because once you've completed a harmonic, you can long because it's a bullish bat. Yeah. If we were to form this and it comes down to the D, then you can long. That would be the trade. So the C is possible, but really it's the D that you want to take. Right. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. There's a few people watching. That's cool. Always enjoy catching up with everyone. I can take a screenshot and put it on my thumbnail.